In today's video, we're gonna be working on this two-post lift. This is a 12,000 pound two-post lift from Dannmar, and we just received it, and we are going to be putting it up here in the shop. So we've got a 4-post lift here, but we are going to be putting the 2-posts probably in and around this area, and then moving our 4-post here. So I'm super excited to get this. This is a top quality lift, and I'm really excited to get it up because it's gonna allow us to do a lot more stuff here in the shop. There's just some stuff you can't do with a 4-post that you need a 2-post for, and that is what we're gonna get done. So they're laying down right now. They are in the crate. So we've got to unbolt it from the crate, separate the 2 towers, take the arms out of the towers, and get these things ready to stand up. So let's get that done. All right, you guys, so the lift is up. That was a mission, and like I said, if you guys want like full install details, there's a ton of videos on how to get this up, but you saw there how we accomplished it. We ended up bringing each post up to our 4-post lift, using the 4-post to put up each post from the 2 posts. We got like 3/4 of the way, and then we just manned it from like the 3/4 mark up to it being up tall, and then we kind of just crab walked it into place on each side. As far as the top beam, again, we utilized what we had. We tried to work as efficiently as possible. So we used the 4-post lift. I happen to have this shelving unit because the 4-post only goes up so high. We put the top beam on the shelving unit, put it up as high as we could, and then we threw straps around it. You can see we had 4 there, pulled on the straps to put it up as high as we could, and then we used the ladder to actually get each side of that top beam into place, put the bolts in, and now we have it in place. So what I'm gonna do now is, some people install these all different kinds of ways. Because the pads are so big on this thing, each post was pretty dang stable. So I ended up putting everything together with the help that I had at the time. Right now it's back to just me. So this is pretty much the position I want to put it in. So I haven't anchored any bolts just yet, but we're gonna do it the same way that most of the other people do it when they install the lifts. You get the post that has the motor in it all anchored up and level, and then they finalize the other side where they have to square it up at all, you know, move that post, you know, bump it over a tiny bit. After they get this one perfectly leveled and square and everything, then they go over there, finalize that one, and then put the anchors in. So same principle, just the top beam is in. Like I said, I was utilizing the help that I had when I had it to just get the main structure in place. So huge shout out to my neighbors for giving me a hand with that, and we got her together. So now let me get to anchoring this thing. So last thing I'm trying to do is figure out where I want to put the lift, and that's the approximate location that I think I'll be good with. But you can see where I have my 4-post, and this is actually set further back than the 4-post. So I think I should be good, but I'm just gonna do some final measurements, maybe throw a vehicle in there to see how it looks, and then finalize this thing. All right, you guys, so like I said, I'm just going to give you guys kind of an overview of the install. So now we've got our bolts in the ground, and when you put these in, a few things. This probably, in my opinion, is part of the, I don't know, longest, not that I'm not any expert at this, but the longest part is making sure that the lift is where you want it to be, and also getting everything square and also level. So you have to make sure that your towers are level this way and then also this way. So we got them all square, and then you put shims. It comes with shims so that you can shim your base. and then everything is torqued down. So now, in my opinion, we're on the home stretch. So now we get to run all of our hydraulic lines, our cables, all that good stuff, get all our hardware in. But at least, in my opinion, all the thinking part, the hard part is over, and now we can do all that. So I'm gonna start to do all that, run all our cables, our hydraulic hoses, because we got to get hydraulic hoses over from where our motor is going to be over the top and then down to this cylinder. So let me just start running everything and show you guys how she looks. So I'm just working on getting the cables up, and what I did was I just put the safety locks in so that I could raise these up, and when I'm working underneath it, I also had this to hold it just for added safety. But I've got it on the lock and I've got this holding it as well. And because you have to take out, I did it over there, you have to take out this bottom wheel here and pass the cable through, and it hooks on underneath. So you had to do that, loop it around, and that's what I'm about to do here. And then you can see, hopefully there, I started to route the cable across, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I got another cable, I gotta loop it around, go up, and then feed it down back to this one. So that's what I'm doing right now. All right, so we got it fed through the bottom. Now we are pulling it up through the top, and we got to go up and around. All right, so it's another day, and what we have now is the cable that runs over from this safety lock to the other one. That's ran, not a big deal there. What I'm gonna do, and I might not be going in the exact order, but I'm just kind of doing it in my own madness. We've got our hydraulic lines, so we have to install the fittings into both hydraulic rams, and then the lines have to be ran. I also have to hang the motor on the side, which we have yet to do. It's gonna be going right here. So I'm gonna get the fittings into the bottom of the rams. You can see right here, they just have some temporary fittings installed there, and they're not even sealed. So that's just whatever oil that they keep in there from the factory, just to keep everything lubricated. So we'll get our fittings installed and then run the lines all the way over. You can see there's a T fitting that is going to tee off, and then a line is gonna come over to our motor here and go up to there. So let me get it all done. Okay, there we go. We got our two fittings in here, and then we're gonna use the 90-degree hose fitting. So we're gonna use the shorter hose with the 90, and it is gonna go off there and then run up through the back up to that T fitting. All right, so I haven't fully got the fittings tight or anything. These ones are tight, but this one I'm still playing with the final position. Also, I raised up the ram just off the ground so I can get my fittings tight and spin them, especially with this 90. So I just raised it up, and then I just have like a piece of hardware underneath to hold everything suspended, and we will end up putting it down to the bottom. And then back here, I used a fiberglass fish rod just to get it behind this assembly. And you'll see there, it goes up to the T, and it goes behind here. So it runs behind and right through there. So I've got everything roughed in. Now let's go ahead and get to the same point on this side. And we got to go up and all the way around on this one to that T right there. Okay guys, so I'm actually getting the electrical in place right now. So we ended up running 3/4 inch conduit. Probably can get away with 1/2 inch, but this just made it easier to pull. And then we have 3 10-gauge wire that we're running as well. So we put the flexible conduit stuff here, and then it goes up to solid. Then we've got a little breakout box there. Goes across, does 90, goes all the way down here to the corner. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that right there. Then we ran it here, then down, and then we've got our 3 spools here of 10 gauge, and we're running it to here. So also have the breaker and stuff. So we're just pulling all the wire, and then we'll get that finalized, and then we can actually get the lift to power up. All right guys, so we got the arms on, we've got our electrical all ran now. So I don't know if you guys can see, but our conduit goes there, go over to flexible whip that comes down here, So run into here, and then also the electrical goes back up and goes to that safety switch there. So when it hits that bar there, it will, you know, if the roof of your vehicle touches that, it will stop the lift from raising. So that safety is in there. I still gotta put the boxes over here. I was just getting this adjusted. So this is the steel cable that goes over to the other side to release your lock. And what I'm doing right now is we've got our fluid in here. It takes about 4 gallons, so you pretty much fill it to here. And then of course there's gonna be air in the system. So I saw that you raise it to about a foot off the ground, and then you release the air in the hydraulic rams here, which I was just doing, and there is a ton of air in them. So I'm gonna do this on both sides and get rid of the air so that this thing operates smoothly, and then we should be able to operate this a little bit better and get our cables adjusted. There we go, sounds like we finally hit fluid. Here we go on this side. Oh yeah. All kinds of air. And now we hit fluid. All right guys, so the lift is finally installed. So everything's good. Pretty much gotta, you know, mess with the cables a little bit more if you guys do or don't know about that, but you adjust the cables from side to side to make sure that the arms are lifting at the same rate. But that's pretty much it. The garage, the shop is in absolute shambles. And the next time you guys see this, it may look completely different. As you can see, I'm reorganizing absolutely everything. And this is kind of cool too. So there is quite a bit of space that I've made just in reorganizing everything. So I thought for some reason it was gonna feel very cramped the way I did it. And you can pretty much see here, this is the center line of the shop. This is 30 feet wide. And I chose to stick to the other side of the shop, but not get too tight to the wall. So if you come over here, we've still got, I don't know what we want to call that, probably at least a couple feet, you know, maybe 3, depending on if we end up insulating this, or if we're counting the post or the footprint on the pad there. But either way, this is a big unit, you guys. So again, these are 16-foot walls, I believe, and we are utilizing the full bit of it. This is going to make our job a lot easier as far as working on vehicles. And like I said, still a ton of space over here. You can easily walk through here, and I'm not even close to being up against the wall. But again, pardon the mess because it is an absolute disaster in here. And you might see some cabinets going on in the background there. So my next task is to get rid of all the white cabinets and all that stuff and get something a little more official in here. Again, we've been non-stop ever since getting into this shop, and now it's time that I get organized finally. Ever since I've been here, it's gonna be coming up on a year here in a few months, and I've just been non-stop go, go, go. You can see we've just got parts and spare parts and dashboards and door panels and all sorts of things from everything getting ready, and it's just been absolute madness. Plus I still got all these engines, so I wanna get everything organized. That way it just feels a little bit better and, you know, more clean, and that way we can think straight in here. But shout out to Dannmar for this crazy lift, you guys. So I'm super happy with it. We're gonna put it to good use. If you guys are wondering what's next up on the channel, now that we've got the lift, we can, well, now that we've got 2 lifts, we've got the 2-post and we've got the 4-post. 4-post is more for like storing things or for checking driveline angles with the suspension loaded, or maybe just a simple oil change if you don't wanna go through the, you know, the routine of lifting it from the frame. But having the 2-post is gonna be so much better as far as suspension and dropping things like engines, transmissions, all that. We're gonna have way more room to work underneath this thing. Plus this is a beast of a unit, 12K. It is gonna be able to do whatever we want for our light duty stuff. But even though it is way past the capacity we'll ever use it for, the fact is it's gonna be much more stable. You can see just the size of this thing. So having that much more metal and it being that much more beefy, this thing's gonna be solid for anything we wanna lift. So I'm super excited. SST project is next. Plus we still have that other Dakota RT that we gotta get cleaned up and stuff, and we got a lot on the way. So if you haven't already, check out the other videos on the channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on that bell so you're notified of all the new videos that we post, and we'll see you guys on the next one.